In my heart, I no longer believe that I have a realistic path to electoral victory. I cannot honestly tell them that I have a real path to the White House. I am not terminating my campaign. I am simply suspending it, not ending it.
Okay, let me see if I got this right. RFK Jr. is suspending his presidential campaign, but he's not ending it. So you should vote for him, but he's not going to be the president, even if he wins, because he's suspended his campaign, even though he's still on the ballot. But he hasn't ended it.
My name will remain on the ballot in most states. If you live in a blue state, you can vote for me without harming or helping President Trump or Vice President Harris. In red states, the same will apply. I encourage you to vote for me. And if enough of you do vote for me, and neither of the major party candidates win 270 votes, which is quite possible. In fact, today our polling shows them tying at 269 to 269. And I could conceivably still end up in the White House in a contingent election.
Oh, I see. So you're pushing for a contingent election because you don't think that either party is going to get 270 votes. And that would therefore put you in the White House, even though you've suspended your campaign, and even though we shouldn't vote for you, but we should vote for you in red states and blue states. But you've ended your campaign. No, sorry, you've not ended it. You've suspended it.
But in about 10 battleground states where my presence would be a spoiler, I'm going to remove my name. And I've already started that process and urge voters not to vote for me.
Okay, so now in around 10 battleground states where a vote for you could cause the vote to be upset, for either Trump or Harris, you're going to take your name off of the ballot there. Okay, so incidentally, this speech was like 50 minutes long. These are just the highlights.
It's with a sense of victory and not defeat that I'm suspending my campaign activities. And now to throw my support to President Trump.
Okay, so let's kind of wrap this up, please. You've suspended your campaign. You've not ended your campaign. People can still vote for you, but they can't vote for you in battleground states because you're going to take yourself off the ballot there, but you're going to be on the ballot everywhere else. And you are endorsing the disgraced former President Trump because somehow, after spending a lifetime as an environmental lawyer, you want to side with the guy who thinks climate change is a hoax. Okay, well, you see, the thing about Robert Kennedy Jr. is he's nuts, and it makes no difference whether you can even make sense of what he's saying because he makes no sense. And his opinions change on a dime. He has spent a decade claiming that vaccinations, especially in children, cause autism, which is not true. And then all of a sudden COVID comes along and he jumps on the anti-vaxxing bandwagon despite 1.2 million Americans dying. And then he backtracks when he's running for president and says, no, I never said that, even though there's plenty of videos showing him saying that in interviews. This is a guy who is not to be trusted. He's been trading on the Kennedy name. Ultimately, he has nothing to offer. He is confusing at the very least. But most importantly, he is a Trumper. And it was leaked by a Donald Trump surrogate in Florida that RFK Jr. was only ever running to get more votes for Donald Trump, to take votes away from the Democrats. And so here we have the exposure of what this year and a half of RFK Jr.'s presidential campaign has been. It has just been for show, a performative exercise to give Donald Trump the upper hand. I just want to interrupt myself for a moment to ask you to support me and independent journalism by becoming a member of this YouTube channel. Click join just below. It starts at just $3 a month, and it would be really helpful because at the moment things have never been more complex and more dangerous with the rise of fascism and the fall of US democracy. So I'm going to do my best to put these messages and this analysis out every single day, but I really need your help to do that. If you don't want to join the YouTube channel and you're already on Patreon, you can sign up for my Patreon as well at patreon.com/5minutenews. Thank you. Personally, I think that with RFK Jr. in the same kind of department as Donald Trump now, as in the lunatics asylum, I think that frees up Kamala Harris to be the candidate who stands for normalcy and decency and not insanity. And so from that perspective, it's very good. I should also finally caveat this with that it does still seem, and I'm very much of the opinion, that Donald Trump has been reassured that there is a plan in place to rig the election in his favor. This is going to happen at a local level, at the legislatures, with election deniers refusing to certify the election so that ultimately it gets kicked back to the MAGA Supreme Court. That is something that we have to watch out for. This suspension of RFK Jr.'s campaign plays into that narrative and suggests to me that this Heritage Foundation plan to install Donald Trump and create a far-right Christian nationalist administration is very much underway.
I am not terminating my campaign. I am simply suspending it, not ending it. Thank you all very much.
I'm Anthony Davis. You can catch me on the 5 Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with Midas Touch.